What is up, gentlemen? Welcome back to Gentle M Co. I'm your host, Michael, and today we are going to be talking about 3 things men should never go cheap on in their wardrobe. This is a very important topic because a lot of times we want to cut corners, which isn't bad. It's okay to cut corners and maybe go for the more inexpensive alternative. And I'm going to give you guys 3 things that you should really consider not going cheap on. Honestly, not even consider, do not go cheap on. That doesn't mean you should sell an arm or a leg and buy the most expensive thing, but you should get quality, and a lot of times with quality runs parallel with the price. The price might be a little higher, right? It shouldn't be astronomical, but it's not gonna be the most cheapest thing on the product usually. Sometimes it is. The number 1 thing you should never go cheap on is your shoes. Guys, shoes matter. Do not go cheap on your shoes, and also take care of your shoes. When that lady looks at your feet, and if they are busted or they look dingy or, on the cheaper side, if you go to DSW and get some of their shoes, no offense, I'm not saying DSW is a bad store, and if some of you guys shop there and that's what you could do, I understand. But look, you often pay for what you get when it comes to shoes. Perception is king nowadays, and a lot of times shoes impacts your outfit. If your shoes look like you got it on sale at Walmart, you could be wearing a very nice turtleneck or suit or whatever. It could ruin the whole outfit. And like I said previously, if you're talking to that young woman or you're talking to a love interest, right, they're gonna look at your shoes and that can make them go, oh. You might not want them anyways, because if they're looking at your shoes and then they're not wanting to deal with you, then it's probably not the person you want to deal with. But shoes is the number 1 thing. Do not go cheap on these. We want to cut corners, but don't cut corners on your shoes. Look for good quality products. There's other things you could cut corners on, and I'll do that in a separate video, but shoes should not be one of them. Invest in your shoes. Next, guys, that you really don't want to go cheap on in your wardrobe are statement pieces. Now, not things like this, although it could be a statement piece depending on the time of year you wear it and etc. But statement piece is more like your leather jackets, your big winter coats or bigger coats, things that you really want to make a statement on. Do not go cheap on here. You kind of want to go towards the more expensive route, especially if we're talking about like a leather jacket. Guys, leather costs. It costs money. You're probably gonna spend $1,000, $2,000, or if you find a really good deal, maybe sub $1,000, right? But it's gonna cost you, especially with statement pieces. So I'll do a separate video of things that you can cut corners on or go cheaper on, but when it comes to statement pieces, you don't. Maybe on those high fashion sites, you've seen a jacket that you really like. This is the time to, invest in that piece. Now, catch statement pieces on sale, but nonetheless, they're probably still gonna be more expensive. And the last thing, guys, that you don't want to go cheap on is a suit. Now, there's like a catch with this a little bit. With a suit, you could find more inexpensive suits, such as Hackett or Gagliardi. These are brands that you could go on their websites and look at, and you could find some of their suits to be more favorable in pricing. So a suit doesn't have to be $5,000. No, you could find a good suit for $400, $300, $500. Suit supply, sometimes you can find some of the suits for around that $500 to $700. Honestly, that's, you'll find a lot of the suits around that price range. But you can still find some suits sub $400. A lot of the 2 brands I just named will be sub $400. You can find them on sale. But with suits, guys, don't go to your Macy's. First of all, they're overcharging you for stuff that could be mixed with polyester. They might have a good suit on the rack. Stop going there. Stop going to your Dillard's. I'm not saying these are bad stores, but do a little research and invest in a really good suit. Don't go cheap on your suits. Why? Because it shows and you feel it. That is why. If you go with a suit that is made out of polyester, Polly and her sister Esther, guys, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel uncomfortable in the suit because polyester is gonna trap a lot of that heat. The first time I got a really good suit, I was like, oh, suits are supposed to be breathable. They're supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to enjoy wearing them. They're supposed to be like wearing almost like, a lot of your other clothing where it feels very maneuverable and things like that. So don't skip out on a good suit. I had a lady say this, a man in a suit is like a woman in a lingerie. Women love it. It is what it is. So, and we're not, don't do it just for, women. You want to look good in your suit. You might have an interview to go to. You might have a presentation. And then for yourself, you might be out and about. You're the man and you're going out and about. You want to look good in what you have. Now, you can look good in a more cheaper suit like a Zara or H&M, something like that. But then again, we go back to the feel of the suit. And then you got to also think about, how many options are there for the majority of you all. I would assume that the majority of America, they have sizing for you there. But if you're an oddly shaped guy like myself, I'm 240 plus 6'5", or if you're a guy who is maybe shaped more skinny or maybe really skinny, more lengthy and deer-like, you will have trouble, finding a good suit off the rack. And then if you do see something off the rack, it doesn't feel good on your body, right? So invest in a good suit. You really don't want to go cheap or try to cut corners on a suit. It can be a more inexpensive suit, but don't go cheap on a suit. That is the video, guys. Take it, send it to your friends. This is something that I needed when I was a little bit younger or early on, and how I wanted to put together my wardrobe. Tell me your thoughts. I did 3, but there are more. So I know you guys are brainstorming. You probably have some more to be like, hey, Mike, this, that, and the third. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you thought about the video. Subscribe, please subscribe. I'm trying to come into 2024 hot. So we're going to build this channel. We're going to build this community together, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.